Let me just begin by telling you what it is that you're about to see and where it comes from. So most of you on the call are members of the association. So let me just remind you that LEEA is a trade association. I'm the chief executive, my name's Ross Maloney, but I am simply the custodian of the association. That means that I deliver on the will and desires of the LEEA membership. We currently have about 1,200 members in over 70 countries. So trying to aggregate that demand together is something that is problematic and is difficult. And it's actually something that at the recent board meeting last week, the board and I talked about at length about how we can be more responsive. In saying that, one of the things that unites all of our members, certainly before COVID, was a concern around where the next generation of the workforce is going to come from. In fact, that was probably the one thing that united the general membership. It was things are tough at the moment, but in 20 years, in 10 years even, we just don't know where our next generation is going to come from. And so on the LEEA board's list of things to be concerned about is sustainability. And of course, sustainability tends to be one of those words that people use, and it means green or it means plastic is bad. But one of the things that we've talked about is sustainability in the sense of what's the future going to look like? And so what we as an association have started doing, and this is absolutely in conjunction with our friends at LHI, who've been a key partner in this and have done anything good that you see today was done by our partners at LHI or by Catherine, who works for LEEA. Anything bad was my decision. But what we have done is come up with a way by which our members can easily and actively engage with young people. So what this is about today is how can LEEA, the association, effectively give you guys tools that mean that you can easily go out and engage with local schools, local youth groups, your own children, your own families, extended friends. Obviously, our plans were devised pre-COVID when you could actually go into a school. However, we've had to pivot because it looks like that's not going to happen for maybe 6 months even. So what you've got here is effectively a lesson in a bag, and it's a lesson in a bag that you can send to a school and then you can do remotely. So hopefully that's a decent introduction. What I propose to do is to go through it and take questions at the end. I hope to take no more than 30 minutes of your time. We think that actually delivering this should take 40 minutes. So I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to labor it. I'm just going to show you the sort of thing that you've got. So I'm going to try and share my screen. This is normally where things break, so bear with me. You're not seeing it, are you?
I can see it.
Oh, can you see the presentation? Perfect. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the presentation.
Yep, it's there.
Excellent. So I'm going to go through this and just talk over it, okay? I need to make sure that I am sharing computer sound. Okay, so you should hear it now. So hope if you can't hear it, let me know, okay? So let me go through this. So this is the presentation that we are giving out to the world. This will be available on the LEEA website. It will be from tomorrow, it will be on the LEEA Learning tab. You scroll down and all of these tools will be available to the world. What's different for members is if you write to thinklifting@leeainc.com, we will send you 3 complete learning packs to get you up and running. So if you email us and you're a member, we'll send you 3 packs worth of stuff. If you're not a member, we're not going to send you anything. You can just download stuff and you can buy your own kit. So that's the difference. Also for members, we're not hoping to be sending you kit for the rest of ever. We'll send you 3 packs to get you up and running, and we'll also send you a list of where you can buy stuff from Amazon. So hopefully we'll get it going. So this is the Think Lifting presentation. Deliberately, it's been left as a template so that you guys can put in the name of your company, who you are. We're trying to make it as light touch as possible. So this is aimed at 11 to 13-year-olds. So this is pre-option. Bear with me, I'm just admitting someone. This is pre-option in the UK. So it's the sort of the student's age before they start actually allocating themselves to GCSEs. So starts off any lesson plan. What are the objectives for the day? What we're trying to do is have a bit of fun, show you that science actually matters, and we're trying to introduce you to the lifting industry. Bear with me. So first set of questions is, what do you know about the lifting industry? And this is all on Zoom. So we expect that the students will have absolutely no idea about the lifting industry. So we want to explore here what it is that we do, what tools that we use. Have you heard of any companies that are in the industry? Given that you're talking to a local school, they've probably heard of you. Hopefully they might have a parent that works for you. That's the sort of icebreaker. And this is the space where we would expect you guys to slip in some corporate slides where you would talk about what you do, where you are, how long you've been running, that sort of stuff. We don't want you to take too long though, but this is where you would slip in your corporate slides. This is where, hopefully most of you have seen this. I'm going to show it just for a few seconds. This is where Think Lifting Film 1 kicks in. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Think. Can you solve a problem or find a solution? Think lifting. That's what it has done through man's evolution. From ancient wonders that still mesmerize, to modern day structures where we live, work and play in the skies. Think lifting. It helps us communicate with the world through our phone. It delivers energy to our workplace and homes, from fossil fuels like coal, oil and gas, to renewable power, because these others won't last. Think lifting.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into that. Hopefully many of you have seen that. So that is our gift to the world. That is LEEA's gift to the world. It's been translated so that the subtitles are in Arabic and Spanish. That will be, at the moment, it's kind of hidden away on the website deliberately because we want to launch it properly as part of this. So from tomorrow, that will be obvious and downloadable from just on the learning tab of the website. But this is part of what we are doing. So that was the introduction. Remember, it was deliberately devised for young people. That is the introductory film aimed at young people that talks about lifting, and it's aimed at making it clear that lifting is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It underpins stuff, and actually it's quite glamorous, and it's not necessarily about grease. It's not necessarily about lugging. It's not about dropping. It's about skyscrapers. It's about space. There is almost a sexiness, and that's deliberately what we're trying to do there. So then we move into, some of the jobs in the lifting industry. When you're looking at this, I wonder how many deep sea divers we have on the call. But what we're trying to show here is that this is a diverse industry. And basically, whatever you want to do, we'll have you. Come and work for us. So then we move into routes to the industry, and our perception is, excuse me, let me just admit some other people. Our perception is that whilst we're doing this, it's quite quick. There's no point in going and taking your time over this. This is something that will happen quickly. And so we're saying, how do you get into our industry? Apprenticeships, university, or you can just come and start working for us and we'll train you. So we're trying to show that there are zero barriers to join us. So then we get into the hands-on bit. So that's almost the first section. That's the, having tested it, that's the get through it as quickly as you can, because you'll lose them if you labor it. Every kid I've ever seen loves that video, but if you start going into your corporate slides a bit too much, you'll lose them. So this is where we get into the whole point of it. So we're going to go into 3 experiments. The idea is, your first steps to becoming a lifting engineer. we introduce the students to hydraulics and pneumatics, a bit of an introduction to it. You can almost just read that out. But then we move into, right, here's the first experiment. And this is what you are provided with, members. And non-members, this is the kit that you can go out and buy yourself. Each kit that we have put together costs LEEA about £35 to put together. So when you're a member, we'll send you about £100 worth of kit. So that's why we're not going to do it forever and ever, but we're trying to set, this is pump priming. So first one experiment is we want you to build a pneumatics machine. The instruction sheets will be in the pack. Once constructed, we want you to use it. This is the picture here of all the kit that you get. You get 10 minutes to build it. So it's literally, right, you've got the experiment, 10 minutes to go and go. And then afterwards, there is a film that I will play this. This is Catherine having... Perfect. So in terms of the numbers that we're doing for that, we are working on the basis that you'll have 36 maximum in each class. We're dividing those 36 into groups of 3. So you will have 12 complete kits in your pack. So that's why we think it takes 10 minutes, because there'll be 3 sets of hands following the instruction pack. It takes you back a bit when you look at that. It's a bit of an FX kit sort of thing. So it's actually having the kids put together what a pneumatics lifting device looks like. So then we move from pneumatics into friction. Again, you could just read this out. This is introducing friction. Friction is probably something that they've got a bit more insight into. And this is a problem that we say to you, right, this is the problem. What would you do? So the problem is the chopstick problem. You have to lift that empty bottle using just rice and a chopstick. The bottle has to remain upright. You're not allowed to spill any rice. How would you do it? And that's one that you would say, right? How would you do it, kids? Any ideas? And they'll say, put it in, lift it up, balance it. And then you'll say, okay, they're all good ideas, but actually they're all rubbish. And so this is how you do it. That tap is the trick. If you don't tap it so that the rice actually sits down, you won't lift it up. That's been really fun testing it, because the smart kid thinks that they can do it really easily, but without the tap, it's just a mess and they can't do it. But again, we're talking about friction and then we explain it. So remember, so we're introducing lifting concepts, physics concepts to 11 to 13-year-olds to show them that what we do is science. We started off with pneumatics, then we've gone into friction, And then the last one that they have to do themselves, and we will send you this stuff, is the Da Vinci Bridge. You've probably seen it. So we give them 30 popsicle sticks with, and we say, right, go away and build a bridge. You have to build a bridge that it suspends a weight at least at 5 centimeters, and it has to bear it for 10 seconds. You've got 10 minutes to go away and build this. You just keep running through the slides. All I'm doing on the slides is pressing the carry on. So time starts now. You give them 10 minutes, or you can change that if you're running out of time. Give them 7.5. Put them into groups again. And then the solution, this is how you would do it. And again, there is just pressing. There's the film that shows how it's done. That's amazing. That I still don't understand how that works. Okay, so then we explain how it works. But you see what we're trying to do all the way through this. We're trying to show that actually lifting is science, and it's actually a bit magic. So then we explain how it works. And then at the end of the lesson, we go lifting 2, which hopefully some of you have seen.
The lifting industry has such a diverse mix of opportunities in it, from designing apps to being hands-on to even running your own business.
You may be aware of movies like James Bond or Harry Potter. We've been involved in projects to move stages, etc., around to make these films happen.
In terms of qualifications, I wouldn't say specifically you need any qualifications. There are no barriers to entry this industry. However, common sense, flexibility.
So I won't go through that because that one's a bit longer, but what you get there is, this is what we've done. So what we've done is put together a lesson plan for you guys that we're now sharing with you. So it's a 40-minute lesson with 3 experiments. It's got a film at the beginning of it. It's got a film at the end of it. And as well as this stuff, let me now just see if I can bring up the handouts. Bear with me. Can you see the handouts? Can you see the handouts, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you can see the handout. Perfect. So what we've done here is, this is handouts that you'll leave behind. Of course, you will probably want to do some sort of handouts yourself about who you are and where you come from. And you might want to talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. But these handouts, the branding is LEEA, it fits with thinklifting. Pneumatics, friction and pulleys, the stuff that we've talked about in the lesson. We explain pneumatics. These were written by a student that's just about to start a physics degree at Oxford University. She was 18. And so they've been deliberately written by somebody that actually knows what it's like to speak to a young person. The worst thing we could have done was somebody like me that's 42 and doesn't remember what being a young person is like. So this was deliberately written by somebody that's just passed exams and still is a young person. So pneumatics, you'll see it. It looks the business, it looks great. Friction, we explain friction, and then pulleys, we explain those. So this is basically, and I will stop screen sharing now, bear with me. This is basically a lesson in a bag that we're giving out to the industry. The vision that we have for it is that LEEA members start using it in their own communities. So the sort of the transmission of it is, LEEA members said to the association, we're struggling to engage with our next generation. So LEEA has gone and put together this lesson plan, and now we're sharing it with our members. LEEA members will receive 3 full kits, and they come in a bag with LEEA and LHI logos on it. And all you have to do is get in touch with the school and say, I'm going to send you a bag, and it's got everything that you need in it for a 40-minute lesson. You arrange a Zoom call, and then you will be zoomed into the lesson, and you'll have it with the the students or the scout group or the wherever you're going with it. Of course, the route that we then have in England, well, that we nearly have, is we get the kids interested at 11 to 13, and then there'll be an apprenticeship for them, so they can actually do an apprenticeship when they turn 18. Obviously, there are university pathways in existence at the moment, but we'll look at whether they are as good as they could be. And then what we want them to do is come and work for a LEEA member, and then they can do their LEEA qualifications. But that's it. That's it. It's literally a case of, it's in a bag, we send you it over to you. So that's the end of the presentation. I'll take any questions. Maybe if you just unmute yourself and speak if you've got any questions.
Oh, Ross, it's Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked great. I think it's brilliant. I've got two questions. One is, can we see the bag yet? And the second one is, can we see the instructions that go with it for the kids? Are the kids getting instructions of how to do the first little test? Because doing it via Zoom and not them being able to look at a piece of paper would be quite difficult for them to do it.
Yeah, so I reckon it would be impossible. So we did think about just giving them the kit and saying, right, on you go. But that would be a way to select engineering geniuses rather than just to engage with 11 to 13-year-olds. So those, I'm looking at Catherine. So those instructions have been written and they will be uploaded on the website tomorrow as part of the whole pack. I thought rather than just go through how to do it, but they're written, they'll be on the pack tomorrow. And the bags, Dave is teasing me because we were discussing it at the board. We've gone for the silver bags and they'll have a LEEA logo and an LHI logo on. Drawstring bags, the sort of bags that you get out of JD Sport or whatever. It's just got all the kit in it. We'll send you a box with 3 of them in and you send it on to the school.
Cool. One other thing is, what about overseas members? Are they going to be sent bags? Is this just for the UK? How is that going to be addressed?
We're just piloting it in the UK. So if overseas members are really interested, we'll have to look into how much it's going to cost us to send you the whole pack. If it's just not going to be worth it, then we might just say to you, we'll order the first 3 for you and we'll get it sent to you, because that's what we've done in the UK. But we'll see how it goes. But what we're deliberately trialing this in the UK. The first day that we're ready to launch is October the 12th. So what happens now is, if you guys are interested and want to receive this, you email thinklifting@leeaint.com. Catherine monitors that. And as soon as we receive from you, we've got 20 bags ready to send out on October the 12th. If demand is greater than 20, then we'll have to buy some more kit. But this is really us just piloting it and getting it out.
Thank you, Ross.
Quick question. How does the pulley section link to the rest of the experiments?
Sorry, say that again.
How does the pulley section link to the rest of the experiments? On the handout, there was a section on pulleys.
Ah, yeah. So how does it link to it?
So you've got 3 experiments, one on pneumatics, one on friction, and then you've got the Da Vinci Bridge.
Yeah.
But within the handout, you've got a section on pneumatics, friction, and then pulleys.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, is there supposed to be a connect there, or
no? Well,
just extra?
No, because it was a sort of additional subject that we thought would just fit in with an introduction. The pulley experiment that we had was one that we couldn't do by Zoom. The pulley experiment we had involved lifting a teacher, but we had to be there to do it. So that fell.
Yeah, that would be excellent.
Yeah, so that fell foul of COVID-19. So when we're allowed to see each other and touch one another again, then the experiment we have is showing kids how you can lift a teacher. But we couldn't come up with a pulley experiment that was COVID-19 compliant. So we've kept the pulley handout section, but yeah, you're right, the experiments aren't heavy on pulleys.
Okay, thanks. I think that's really good. You're doing a really good job there.
Right.
Very helpful.
Thank you. Okay. Good. So I've whizzed through that. Remember that the crown jewel of all of this are the films. That's the things that really bring it to life. So if you want these kits, please email us and we'll send them out to you next week. Is it next week, October the 12th? I keep forgetting what day we are. Week after.
Week after.
So we'll send them out October the 12th. One of the reasons that it will be October the 12th is because of the syringes that we use for experiment 1. We've basically drained Amazon dry. So we're waiting for Amazon to get restocked. But this will be something that, you know, it'll be very easy for you guys to buy your own replenished kits. But by sending you out 3, it gives you a chance to see if it's any good, see if schools are actually interested, engaging, and to see where we get to. My personal experience is my 11-year-old boy thought that it was awesome. My 14-year-old girl just looked at me and what are you trying to make me do, Dad? But that's basically what she does at the moment. So it might not have been the actual kit. But we really want to hear feedback, because this is one of these things that it's brand new, this for LEEA. It's brand new. So if it's really good, we can start developing it. If it goes down well, we can start developing it. It can fit in with GCSE curriculum. We can start doing A-level stuff. We can start getting involved in degrees. If it's the right sort of thing, but the wrong delivery, we can look to amend. And if it's a total put it in the bin, then we'll put it in the bin and come up with another idea. So we are keen for feedback on it. Okay. Any questions? Most of you've got my email address, or Catherine's, or thinklifting@leeainc.com is the dedicated email inbox for this. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.